Welcome to another adventure of Hogwarts Legacy. Today, we continue onward with our studies, academics, and learning new spells. I hope you're ready for the crazy ride that we're going to continue on. So, fasten your belt buckles and let's get on with the ride. Here's a first-hand experience of looking at the Slytherin common room. I hope you enjoyed the nice scenery as I go around looking at the different visuals and anything that I can do to interact with, or the scenery that I can interact with. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to give you a better visual at, or whether you have any kind of input. Please leave a comment or feel free to message.
Revelio.
So the type of character that I'm going to end up creating is one that's very helpful, friendly and kind as a Slytherin, but very intelligent, smart. I know that there's pretty much a variety of different personalities throughout each house. But I also do know that most houses also kind of show a specific type of trait. So I know not all Slytherin people or Slytherin personnel are bad. I will kind of like my character, what's it called? A little bit of a smart ass at times and very cunning, but majority of the time I'm gonna end up going out of my way to do the quests and stuff and trying to get the full completion of the storyline, while also learning the dark arts and the crazy curses that we could yield. So my character is going to be a combination of kind of a kind but yet destructive Slytherin at the same point. I'm not going down the evil route of killing or anything like that, like killing people, but I will be using the curses and stuff. So
indeed. And how did you escape?
It's all still a bit of a blur, to be honest.
Didn't mean to press. You just get yourself settled. We can talk more later.
What book were you reading?
A spell book I picked up. Has a few interesting things, but not exactly what I was looking for. I'm sure you'll find out soon enough. But not every spell you may need can be found in our assigned textbooks.
Are you saying some spells aren't taught at Hogwarts? Which ones?
Seems I may have met a kindred spirit. That is a conversation for another time. It was good meeting you. Good luck today.
To be honest, anything I could get in Diagon Alley this year, I was able to find in Hogsmeade. I always feel quite...
Revelio.
Might want to think that again. Ugh, not going to move there, are you?
Here, watch this.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Checkmate.
Told you. You should have listened to me.
Ah, I know who you are. You're the new Slytherin, the one who barged in with Professor Fig last night. Interesting tactic on your first day, taking all the attention away from the first years. I'm Imelda, by the way. Shame I wasn't with you in Fig. I could have lured that dragon away. My skills on a broom are legendary.
Perhaps Professor Fig's friend would have survived if we'd had your help.
Precisely. Perhaps one of these days I'll show you a thing or two about flying. I can teach you more than Kogawa ever could. Speaking of which, I'd like to get in some time on my broom before classes.
Do you have a lot of time to fly during school?
I make the time. There's nothing like swerving through the spires of the castle and around the Quidditch pitch to clear the mind.
Are you a keen Wizard Chess fan? You knew that boy was going to lose the match.
Not really. Much too sedate a pastime for me. Also, it's simply not that challenging. The moves are always so obvious. Why does no one else see it?
Goodbye, Imelda.
Nice meeting you.
I think I heard one.
Doubt mermaids find us that interesting. Ah, based on all the chatter when you entered the common room, I'm guessing you're the new 5th year. I'm Ominous. Ominous Gaunt.
Nice to meet you, Ominous.
Well, you certainly had a memorable arrival.
Well, if I'm going to make my mark here, I had to start right away.
You're definitely in the right house. Do let me know if I can be of any help as you navigate your first days here, though I doubt you'll need it.
Were you expecting to be sorted into Slytherin?
Most certainly. My family on my father's side are direct descendants of Salazar Slytherin, one of the 4 founders of Hogwarts. Not something I'm especially proud of, mind you. He was obsessed with blood status, a pure-blood maniac. Unfortunately, most of his descendants do not fall far from that tree.
Did that student say he thought he heard a mermaid?
Yes, but I've never heard of a mermaid showing up outside our common room window. It is fun to play along, though. Been known to keep some first years on the lookout for hours.
Thank you, Ominous. Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure was all mine. Don't be a stranger.
Slytherin in here. Professor Weasley's waiting for you just by the stairs.
I should have known better than to buy something for my
Morning. I trust you're ready for your first day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you are here. Make the most of it. You only have one first day at Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a 5th year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the year.
OWLs? Owls?
Yes, your ordinary wizarding level exams. They will determine what type of career you can have when you leave here. After much discussion with the headmaster and the Department of Magical Education at the Ministry, we've devised something extraordinary to ensure your success. Here you are.
What is it?
It is a wizard's field guide. It will help you to keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a 5th year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Thank you, Professor, but what do you mean it will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test. This way. I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings. The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. Do keep up! Why don't you cast Revelio on that statue and see what details the field guide can provide?
Kelpie statue. Guide pages. The statue depicts the Kelpie, a shape-shifting water demon native to Ireland and Great Britain, which usually takes the form of a long-maned horse. The largest Kelpie ever reported is the Loch Ness Monster in Scotland. So here's a look at the field guide. You could see everything that the field guide offers, such as collectibles, talents, challenges, the map, your gear and your inventory and such on, and even more. You could go back into your field guide to definitely check all the collectibles that you've obtained, the progress on your challenges, and also to check to see how much gear you've actually collected, because if you end up collecting too much gear, you will not be able to collect any more gear afterwards. So you'll have to manage your inventory, or at least manage your gear, not your inventory. Manage your gear and make sure that you're selling everything that you don't need or destroying it in order to pick up new gear that would benefit you in the future. So, some information on Hogwarts Legacy is there's a lot of collectibles around the world. Right here it shows that you could end up collecting field guides by using Revelio. Later on you'll be able to actually do more puzzles by hitting certain statues or curses, or just solving certain riddles. So it's good to kind of explore the castle both during day and during night. Once you collect all your field guide pages, or once you collect a certain amount, you'll be able to gain experience, finish certain challenges, which end up rewarding certain perks and benefits, such as adding towards your inventory, gear slots, giving you certain cosmetics, and more. So it's definitely worth looking out for any collectibles around the world that you could find. And it also does help out with leveling up, which eventually you'll be able to unlock the talent system and reward your character with more powerful and beneficial spells and perks. So just be sure to keep an eye out for hidden little details, and definitely use Revelio whenever possible.
And here we are. Quite the time saver. These stairs lead directly to Central Hall. You can get almost anywhere in the castle quickly from Central Hall. Always something happening here. It's the heart of the hive. Our King's Cross station, so to speak.
How nice to see you, my young friend.
That should be all for now. You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
What will I learn in Charms class?
Exactly what you might expect. Spells, charms, jinxes, all terribly useful. I think you will enjoy Professor Ronan. He's a clever and entertaining wizard, and a talented teacher.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become Aurors. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Hecat in charge of our students' education in that regard.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
Thank you, Professor Weasley.
A lot to absorb on your first day, and you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for belongings and an extended trip up to the castle.
I'm sorry, Professor, but I'm afraid that's all there is to it.
Almost precisely what Professor Fig said. Speak of the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose us.
Very well. Enough chit-chat. I need to get to class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to explain the details of the field guide's map?
Of course.
Thank you. Good luck today. And remember to use your field guide. It will be invaluable to you. And invaluable to me, as I'll be using it to keep up to date on your progress.
Yes, Professor.
Come and find me in my classroom after you've attended both classes today, and I'll explain more about those assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to Hogsmeade for those supplies.
Revelio. Revelio.
It's about time people put someone like Black in charge.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you masterfully evade Professor Weasley's interrogation regarding our late arrival?
I did my best, but I'm fairly certain she suspects we're not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well, Professor Weasley is a brilliant and astute witch. It was right to keep the details to yourself for now. We don't know where this path we've embarked upon will lead. It may require a bit more flexibility with your time than she would approve of. And she may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look. The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Right now, I am just wandering around the castle, checking to see whether there's any hidden field guide pages or collectibles that I might be able to discover. But since it's early on, it seems like there's not really many things that I could actually discover or interact with at the moment. So I'm gonna continue onward with my quest. In the meantime, enjoy a little bit of an event with Peeves, the ghost, or the poltergeist. It's kind of cool that there's little hidden events inside the world.
Is that all you've got?
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
so.
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with the basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak foe. Now, well done. Very good, but the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
This can't be your first duel.
I do enjoy live duel.
There you go.
All my students with a step.
How's the view?
You're good.
Very perceptive. Thank you.
Remember the lesson. Levioso is quite effective in concert with others. Use the basic cast when your opponent's guard is down. Try to anticipate your opponent's next move.
Not bad.
So one tip is
You give as good
whenever
as
you
get.
finish a quest, make sure that you actually finish the quest. For example, I ended up completing the class originally, and I forgot to talk to the professor afterwards in order to actually finish out the quest and complete the quest, even though I went through the class and completed it. So when I ended up selecting a different quest afterwards, all my progress was lost. So it's kind of good to make sure that you actually finish through with certain quests, and to read any kind of notification, whether it tells you that you'll lose progress. Eventually, later on, you'll be able to do certain quests partially and be able to do something else. For say if something else is in the area and you want to do the objectives for that quest, you could go ahead and do the objectives on the side for that quest and then go back and turn in both of the quests at the same time instead of having to fully complete that quest. But towards the beginning, you definitely want to make sure that you complete your quest, and also just watch out for that prompt that lets you know whether you're going to lose any kind of progress towards that quest.
Perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Exclusive and unsanctioned. Count me in.
Excellent. Knew I was right about you. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. Pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Perhaps somewhere unsanctioned? We'll see if your performance today was sheer luck or actual skill. Look for Luke and Brattleby near the clock tower entrance, if you're interested. Till next time.
Very good.
So, I've cut this video a little bit short, but so far I'm really enjoying the content. I have plenty more to go, and a lot more to edit so that I could share with you. I've already pretty much recorded ahead of time, and I'm doing the editing at the moment and trying to give you guys lots of content to watch in a row. So stay tuned. There's a lot more that's going to come out pretty soon. And what's it called? Today, or this video, just kind of covers going towards my first class, completing that, and acquiring another spell due to doing certain objectives. Again, I'm really enjoying the gameplay so far, and it's been a blast playing this game. Eventually you'll be able to see more of the exploration that you could do later on once completing pretty much the tutorial quest. So thanks again for watching, supporting, and stay tuned.